Alhamdulillah, wa sallallahu wa sallam wa baraka ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallama tasliman kathira. All praise is due to Allah, and we send the peace and blessings upon His final prophet and the seal of all messengers, Muhammad the son of Abdullah, his companions and all those who follow them on their righteous path until the day of judgment. I was asked to introduce myself, and quite honestly, this is the first time I ever introduced myself. My name is Wajdi Akkari. I work at the Jeddah Da'wah Center in Salama district, and the maktab or the office or the center is established for the service of the non-Muslims who like to learn about Islam, no Muslims who like to learn the teachings of Islam, and all Muslims who want to improve their knowledge in Islam, along with other facilities that we provide, and just as any other da'wah center in the Mamlaka, which you may be familiar with. The discussion of tonight's gathering was titled, "Why Are We Here?" Now, maybe some of you, when you read this, you were thinking that I'm going to be discussing why you're here at IMC. I'm not going to be discussing why you are at IMC. That you probably got a job here. The actual objective of this particular question means something else. When we think about the statement, "Why are we here?" what we're really trying to ask is, what is the purpose of life? A question that somehow many people don't ever take the time to think about. You know, you may ask someone, "Why are you here? What is the purpose of life?" And it's very common that it will be the first time that person has ever asked that. Even more dramatic, it will be the first time they ever thought of that. So some may give you the opinion of someone, say, "Well, I heard people say, such and such, or I guess, we're here just to enjoy life. We live once, so this is why we're here." Some people will have an answer, and some people will not have an answer. Regardless, this is the most fundamental question, that each one of us must have an answer for. Now, whenever this question is posed, each one of us is one of three individuals. Okay? One of three individuals. Either a person who does not know the answer or not sure. That person does not have a formula. Why? Because regardless of whether we know the answer or not, there must be a formula for success in life. Let's say you don't know why you're here, yet there must be a formula in order to be successful, whether in this life or in the hereafter. This is inevitable, and we will discuss that shortly after, inshallah. So either we do not know why we're here, and if you don't know why you're here, you definitely do not have the formula. And I will give you an example which will clarify that. You go to school. Imagine that you attend a college and you have no idea what you're doing there. You don't have an objective, in other words. You know what I mean? You don't know what you're aiming at. Is it possible that you will be successful in school? You don't know what you're going to be, maybe an architect, an engineer, a doctor. You have no idea. Okay, you have no objective in attending the school, and you certainly will not be able to attain anything. Why? Because you have to have an objective, say, "Okay, I want to become a doctor, so I must take such and such courses and such classes and improve my language in this aspect and become familiar with the medical terms and what have you, in order for you to attain your objective and have a successful formula." If a person enters into school or college without having that objective, then that person will not be successful. He does not have a formula of success. Why? Because he or she lacks the reason why they are in college. The second individual, which one of us may be, is a person who has the answer for the purpose of life, but has the wrong formula. You have the answer. You know why you're here, and we will discuss that shortly after, inshallah. But the wrong formula. This is similar to another student who also is attending the school, okay, and he knows that he wants to become a doctor, but then the formula which he follows is basically not coming to class, not doing the homework, not studying, not attending the lectures, totally negligent. He has a goal to become a doctor, or she. But the formula in order to attain that, not there. Wrong formula. You know, in order to succeed, you must come to class on time. You must study. You must exert yourself. Otherwise, you will not attain your goal. Clear? Thirdly, a third individual is a person who has the answer for the purpose of life, meaning he has an objective and the right formula. That's like a student who says, I want to become a doctor, so he goes about doing what a person who wants to become a doctor does. From studying and learning and dedicating his time and devoting his life, this part of his life, into college until he graduates and becomes a doctor that he's been wanting to become all these years. Now, inevitably, we want to be the third individual. And as the example goes, now we can actually discuss or get to know what is the objective of life. Since some people may know and have the right formula, some people may know and have the wrong formula, and some people may not know. Let us use our minds, logically and intellectually, to understand the purpose of life before we enter into any revelations and scriptures and what have you. Logically speaking, each one of us may explore his own self or her own self. And I will take you all the way back from the time where you were simply a sperm that fertilized an egg. And you are all in the field of medicine, nurses and doctors. You understand what I'm saying more than anyone else. From the very early stage of something that cannot be seen unless you have a microscope, then that one sperm with this one egg somehow continues to develop and break down into more and more cells until you become you, a walking, talking person with bones, a pumping heart, a stomach, a mind, which somehow this mind in itself is an amazing instrument. You know, as you are listening to me right now, your mind is absorbing the information, analyzing, understanding, probably storing some of the information you're hearing right now, which you will eventually retrieve at your own convenience to tell it to others. You see this instrument here? Now I have two screens in front of me, and a computer cannot possibly function in this manner. But our brain does. Just amazing. So we look into ourselves and we say, there must be a great manufacturer. You know, when you see a car, you see a building, you wonder who made this car. This is a nice Toyota. Who makes Toyota? Japan, China? You ask. Who is the designer? You see a building, you think about the architect. By nature, just the way we are. Likewise, when we look at ourselves, we must also think about the designer. And this is only within ourselves. Now, if we go a little further around us in the environment and the space and the universe, then things get even more amazing and sophisticated. You know, the sun, and the way it rises from a certain location every day, and moving until it reaches a certain location, providing us with heat and light, which are necessary elements for survival on earth, knowing that according to scientists, the distance of the sun from the earth is so precise that if it was to be a little farther, we would melt from cold. I'm sorry, we will freeze from cold. If it was a little closer to us, we will die from heat. Yet, it is consistent in its movement throughout these centuries and centuries, millions of years. But the people are heedless about these signs. The alternation of the night and the day. Every day, you have a night in which we tend to want to rest and relax. Then the day comes, then the energy comes, we go about working, earning our living, continuously on daily basis. The moon and what it provides us from light, late at night, now we have lights, but you have to understand that it wasn't always around. And people had to, use a torch. And before they light a torch, they need some sort of light in order to see. That was the moonlight and the stars. So this amazing creation must have a creator. It must have a creator. Because to claim that this universe came by chance is totally outrageous. It is similar to the following example. You go to a bookstore which sells a lot of books. And now, of course, as a Muslim, I should refrain from using this example, but bear with me. You put a bomb, something that Muslims really should not be doing. You put a bomb in this bookstore and it explodes. And all of a sudden, you find on the shelf a dictionary from A to Z in alphabetical order has been put together as a result of the explosion. I ask you, what are the chances of that happening? Nil. None. Zero. Impossible. Impossible. Even if you do it billions of times, you will not possibly have a dictionary in alphabetical order containing all the words under A, B, C with a cover design due to an explosion. If this is the case with something so simple like a book, then what about this universe and us who inhabit this universe? This is more impossible to claim that this came by chance. Energy and matter kept developing and moving into each other, in infinity, until molecules started striking one another, and somehow we just came into existence. Nice idea, but scientifically cannot be proven and logically cannot be proven, because your mind refuses such ideologies, and this is an instinct or in the natural disposition of the son of Adam. No one can change that. So when we approve that there is a manufacturer, the question that remains is, if we have been created by the Creator, assuming at this point we do not know anything about the Creator, right? All we know is by our senses and our natural disposition and by logic that there must be a Creator. Is it possible that the Creator who created this creation did so without an objective? Could it be possible that we're just here to have some fun? Walk around, get married, have children, eat, drink, work, what have you, die. That's it. The Creator created all this creation for them to do that and go away. Again, we will use logic to disprove this kind of concept. This is similar to this particular hospital, IMC. They build all these facilities, surgery room, emergency, everything. You know, all the rooms for the hospital, for the patients. Then they hire all these people, doctors, nurses, administration, and what have you, and then do not give you any job description. You know, everyone just comes around, say, hey, what do you do here? I don't know, they just hired me, said come around, it looks nice, let's have some tea. There's a cafeteria right there. Every day you come have tea, eat some cookies, life is good. What do you do here? I don't know, man. They hired me, it's nice, and we just work here. Okay, patients, people dying, but I don't know, maybe I'm a nurse. Maybe. Maybe not. If I'm not a nurse, I don't want to be dealing with no patients. Maybe I'm supposed to clean, I'd rather clean. Right? Impossible. If someone did this, they will say, okay, I don't know who built the IMC, but we need to speak to this brother, man. So you need to check yourself, Habib, because, hey, you're wasting a lot of money. And this is, you know, this is not good. To get all these people and, you know, get all these things and just have absolutely no objective for them. I mean, you should at least have the objective to serve the patients. And if you want to do that, then everybody must know what they need to do in order for this place to function properly. You see, if this is the case, and we cannot possibly imagine how this place will come about without a role for each one of us, or each one of you in this case, to play, then it is more impossible for the Creator to create His creation and leave them totally unattended and not tell them what they need to do and where they are going. What is the objective? So inevitably, there is an objective and there is a goal, and I am not supposed to touch upon it today because I would want you to think about it for the next time, inshallah. Think about it in the next few weeks, or however it takes for us to meet again. The Creator, what does He want? And does He have more than one way? Are there more than one way of life that lead to Him? Or are they all acceptable? Or is there a single one which I need to abide by? You know? Very sensitive, because this is a person who understands the objective of life and has the formula of success. So he could be successful now and successful after he passes away. And we should not be negligent of the fact that we will pass away. And what I mean by that, meaning we will die sooner or later. Today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, we don't have any knowledge. No one on earth can provide you with a, pull a ticket, say, by the way, I'm scheduled to die in 3 years. I would like to build a house and enjoy my life until then. Thank you very much. Say, I don't know about you, man, but what is the resource or the reference in which you got this information about your date of death? And we know there's a date of birth. I was born January 1st, 1980, nice. But when you're going to die, no one knows. Because of that reality, we should not leave until we know why we're here and what is the formula of success. Because if we leave without it, then we will have no one to blame but ourselves. You see, we've been given all the faculties and all the means from the sight and the hearing and the mind which understands, and the most important that people are often negligent about, the natural disposition. You know, the way you were born and created, the way you feel that there must be a greater power which is, running and organizing the affairs of the creation. Something that you feel inside, you may deny it, you may be brainwashed into not believing in it, but realistically it's somewhere in our hearts. And so if we want to attain the ultimate success, then we must know why we are here. If you want to go to school and become a doctor, you must have that objective from the day you enroll in school. I want to become a doctor. And you must have a formula of success in order to reach your goal in the shortest time in the best way and the most constructive and time, where you're not wasting your time or money. So, this is what I wanted to share with you, hoping that it will be a source of enlightenment or something to ponder upon and think about, in which we intend, inshallah, in the next discussion that we will have, we will be discussing, if we had agreed that there must be a creator, who is the creator, and did he prescribe a certain path that leads to him, or did he prescribe a number of paths, many of them leading to him, and how do we know which to choose, and what are the characteristics of the path which leads us to the creator, hoping that Allah Azza wa Jal will bless us in the meantime, until the next time we get together, and shower us with His mercy and help us use our means, the means He provided us with, in order to better understand our objective of life and become among the successful people. This and the knowledge is with Allah, and I praise Him abundantly and send the peace and blessings upon His Prophet Muhammad, His companions, and all those who follow them on their righteous path until the Day of Judgment. If you have any questions, you may ask. Don't feel shy. Or coffee. No one got that one, huh? Don't feel shy or coffee? Never mind. No one ever gets it. You may just ask. I'm sorry?
Are we meeting some other day, or we're meeting tonight again?
No, nothing tonight.
No, we're done.
Yeah, this is it. No.
But you promised about something.
And this is supposed to be on monthly basis, inshallah. Right. So the next month, I believe, which will also be a Monday. I'm not sure when you could discuss with the staff. We will have part 2, because it will be a series of 10 lectures, all of them integrated, where we gradually move, right. Thank you, sir. I'm supposed to fill it out?
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
No problem. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك